I want to welcome everybody to the 2013 Clayton Downtown Development Association Awards Dinner. My name is Richard Rary. I kind of wear two hats. One is the chairman of the Downtown Development Advisory Committee for the town, and the other is the president of the Clayton Downtown Development Association Incorporated, which is kind of the nonprofit entity. We've got a great program for you tonight. We're going to go over a lot of different things, so kind of hang in there. We're going to fit in some dinner, lots of drinks, more drinks, and then some dessert. Please, again, get a chance to mingle when we stop, move around, meet the people around you. A lot of what we do in the Downtown Development Awards Dinner is kind of thanking the people for doing what they're doing, but also getting to know the people that are here. Getting to know your neighbors, getting to know the businesses next door, getting to know the hard workers, the volunteers. So if you don't know somebody, introduce yourself. And many of us have tags on. If you don't have a tag, grab one, or just introduce yourself like we used to do in the old times, right? You should have a copy of the program. And on the back is kind of the mission statement for downtown and the vision. Take a look at it, but we worked long and hard over the last several years, but definitely last year and kind of at the beginning of this year to really set our vision and kind of where we're headed, our pathway to the next couple years, and following along with the town's vision. So feel free to take a look at that. I'm definitely not going to read it to you, but it's similar to what we used to do before, but it's now incorporates a lot of the things that the town is looking for in their vision. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the things that have happened over the past year. The past year has been quick. I know for me, it's been very quick. I mean, it seems like we just started our statement of work and picked out our goals, and now they're already almost done. Not the goals themselves, but the time limit to have them done. So we'll continue to work on those. But I'm going to pinpoint some of the things that we've worked on. And typically, the Downtown Development Association works on four things. Organization, which kind of helps the organization itself work well, efficient and effective. Promotion, the things that it takes to kind of promote downtown Clayton. Design, those things that make downtown Clayton the place that you want to live, be, and enjoy with your family and friends. And then the last is economic restructuring, which is a very important one, but how do we make this a vital, vibrant place for businesses, for owners of buildings and properties? How do we make sure that money is spent in downtown Clayton and it stays in downtown Clayton, not in some other place? So I'm going to pinpoint some of the accomplishments over the last year. Organization. Obviously, we helped, for many of you know, you see the new Horn Square, Horn Circle, Horn Square. We helped assist the farmers market move from Horn Square to Town Square to Horn Square, too many squares, and really give them a new place that they can actually be a little bit more visible for folks. We also worked on more focused, realistic 3-year plan. Working with the Chamber's Business Expo in May, developed a more structured volunteer program thanks to Lori Bartlow for helping us kind of kick that off this year and try to utilize our volunteers a lot more efficiently, as well as Bartlow, who would I say, Bartlow? Help us to utilize them more effectively as well as recruit more. We also held a successful appreciation party for those volunteers at Deep River Brewing Company, so thanks to those folks in the back for allowing us to come and spend some time. Very good. Apparently everybody likes Deep River. This is a good thing. That's probably one of the first time we've really gotten a lot of people together to really just hang out and be appreciated for the work that they do, because some of those folks, when we get into promotion, spend nights and nights and nights volunteering for concerts, volunteering for Zaxby's movie nights, and all these other things. And this is one of the advisory boards that's not just kind of one that meets and makes decisions, but goes out and does stuff and does it on a regular basis. We also contributed funding on a statewide basis for a study of the economic impact of the 33 years of the Main Street program. And we'll try to share some of those reports and results at the upcoming Main Street Conference in New Bern, which is in January. Now moving on to promotion, which more of you probably know more about. You see it. That's the stuff that you see going on a regular basis. We finished up, and you'll see scrolling along here, you may see kind of back in 2006 when the first concert went off with about 200 people. So those are kind of the visual things of promotion. This year, the 2013, we had 5 concerts with an average of about 1,100 people at each concert. So going from about 200 people in Clayton to having about 1,100 people in Clayton. And that's an important part. Again, not just promoting and having fun for the citizens of Clayton, but also hopefully connecting that to the economic restructuring. So if they're downtown, are they eating at downtown businesses? Are they shopping at downtown retail shops? Are they getting things done in the area? Last concert, obviously, for many of you know, was a washout, only lasted about 45 minutes. Seems to always happen. So when we have that person playing. 2014 concert series is going to be announced fairly soon, and that's probably our success for the concert series, is the marketing and the early announcement and picking of bands and really pushing that all year long. And that's probably why we're up to 1,100 people at a concert. Another thing that many people have probably seen or heard about is the Zaxby's Movie Night. And again, a lot of push for that over the last couple of years by Clayton Steakhouse's own Michael Granis, Michael Sims, Michael Smith from Zaxby's. A lot of good people kind of pushing for that, and we've really been pretty successful with about 400 to 600 people attending that each Saturday that we have it. This is the second season that we did it, and this year we kind of tried to pair it with the concerts in the summer and had 2 movies in the spring and 2 movies in the fall to try to theme it out based on those times of the year. And again, Clayton Steakhouse was our second sponsor, thanks to Michael's kind of his vision towards wanting that in Clayton. Third thing that we're pretty well known for in promotions is the Christmas Village and tree lighting. Again, you'll probably see pictures. If not, watch them when you get a chance to. I know the people in the back can't see them. But, I mean, there was a picture from the first one in 2006 and the new committee for the new tree lighting. I mean, so I'm sure a lot of you have seen a lot of changes in the growth of the Christmas tree lighting, Christmas Village. And we have a lot of the Mr. and Mrs. Christmases sitting around, so feel free to talk to them. They're famous. They got a direct connection to Santa if you need it. Last year we had this past year, we had more than 5,000 people attend there in December, so that's pretty huge. I don't know how much more we can fit down here without having some major problems, but we continue to look into those as well. We also have a larger tree that many of you have probably seen. It's 4 feet bigger than the last one, so our tree keeps getting bigger. And last year we had the first kind of youth light turner on her, I guess. A little kid, I guess he was in first grade, flipped the switch last year for us and did it well. This year's tree lighting is going to be December 5th from 5:30 to 8:30. And you know how we do it. It's usually not 8:30 by the time we get it done, so be patient with us. Our Mr. Christmas will be Clayton's native and Tampa Bay pitcher, Chris Archer. So that's something pretty exciting for a lot of us to see Chris Archer out there this year. And there's going to be some new Christmas decorations going up around Horn Square. So keep your eyes out and keep coming downtown to look at the decorations. Downtown Gobble giveaway. Another thing that we're kind of worked on this year was how do we help the businesses when there are people coming downtown? So many of you will see you've got an orange Halloween bag. That was given out as a kind of a giveaway passport for people as they came around for the Halloween parade. If you want to see it, Betsy will show it off to you, like Vanna White. Promotion is designed to encourage foot traffic and get people into the store. So that's why things like the bags or the concerts or any of these other things truly happen. And this year we had 24 downtown businesses participating in those giveaways. So thanks to all of you that helped out and those of you who aren't here. The promotion committee, this is probably our heaviest populated committee. Everybody wants to be on this committee because there's fun stuff to do. Probably because they can drink, I don't know. But really, this is the one that people want to be. And thanks to Vincent Lenzola, he's kind of taken that over and really helping us kind of push that back into something that we can really grab a hold of and really create manageable committees under that to make things work. So this year we kind of have somebody doing that Christmas tree laying village. We have somebody doing concert series. So it's not always on the burden of the actual downtown development board itself. So thanks to Vincent for taking his leadership there. Some of the things that committee have really looked at were downtown bucks. How can we provide maybe some incentive to people to shop downtown? And some additional programs to kind of help with decorating and special events. The next committee is design. Some of the things that we did in design, obviously many of you have seen changes in downtown businesses. Things like facade grants are one of those things that downtown development has helped with. So you'll see different looks, paints, different awnings. Some of those things are because the facade grants that the downtown development provides. We continue to work on that and figure out how we can expand it and how we can continue to market that to all downtown businesses and make sure that we share in the effort. We had a streetscapes planning this year, and we've been following that for several years. But what we looked at is kind of taking a tour throughout downtown and really kind of seeing some of the needs. What do we need downtown? Instead of waiting for people to come to us and say, I'd like to do this. Instead, kind of being more proactive and saying, these are things that could be done if we have the resources and have the individuals that want to help. And that information guides a lot of the things that we do, whether it be decorating on certain holidays, whether it's improving alleyways, whether it's safety, improving little nooks and cranny parking, and many other things. Speaking of parking, we're really working with the town and property owners to develop some shared parking downtown over the last several years. But this year, really looking at how Horn Square can be utilized, and then how some of the other properties adjacent to some of the businesses can be shared to be utilized all year round and increase parking to get parking off the streets where it becomes a little more congested. Awning cleanings, we also put together a program to help businesses get their awnings cleaned, look less ragged, less ripped, a little more fresh and clean. And then the solid waste survey, conducted this year, working on figuring out ways to improve the appearance of solid waste containers. For those you don't know, those are dumpsters. So we want to figure out how to hide those or put them out so that they're not just sitting around overflowing for certain events. Economic restructuring, this is one that's probably our hardest, but we know that is probably one of the most important parts of downtown. Thanks to Debbie Ostermuller back in the back and her committee's hard work, they've done a lot of work with Tuesday tune-ups and many other things to really get people thinking of how can we improve the businesses downtown and how do we mentor and keep them. So things that with the downtown development and with trying to make connections with the Clayton Chamber of Commerce. And I saw Jim Godfrey back there, so thanks for coming and making these connections. Some of the highlights as we look at some of the actual stats for this year, we've had 5 facade improvements. We've also had, because of some of these things, we've had a net gain of 21 new jobs in downtown. So in a bad economy, 21 jobs in a year is pretty good. We've also had 5 new businesses in the past year. So downtown Clayton, compared to many other downtown areas, is pretty vibrant in terms of the amount of businesses and the amount of versus the amount of empty spaces. We've had 1 business expansion. We've had a public investment in downtown of over $150,000 and a private investment of roughly $500,000 in downtown Clayton. So for about every public dollar, we have $3 of public investment that was made over the past year. Since 2007, 2008, when Clayton really became, and you'll see some of that in the pictures as well, became a Main Street community, the cumulative public to private ratio of investment in downtown has been roughly 68 cents. In other words, for every public dollar invested in downtown, 68 cents have been invested by the private sector, whereas now we're up much over that. There's an estimated 1,200 hours of volunteerism throughout the DDA. And again, we have a lot of great volunteers in here. I can see John Long, Marty Bizzle, Cheryl Champion, and so many others. Thanks to these kind of people making it happen, we wouldn't be able to do it. They're long hours. They're getting up in the crack of dawn. They're standing out in the rain. Those hours make us more productive, and it just makes us more of a sense of community. So that's kind of the highlight. That's what we've done over the past year. And I know I've said a lot, and many of you have fallen asleep in your salad. So take another shot of whatever you're drinking. I'm going to take a drink, and then I'm going to have a special person come up here to receive an award, kind of, for some of the hard work that the DDA and its volunteers have done over the past year. For many of you know, if you've attended the concert series, we used to give out the koozies, which people tend to like the koozies. I mean, it's like one of those things you almost hang on the wall and get a new one each year, and some of the people come back and get 5 or 6 of them. I don't know what they do with them, but they tend to get a lot of them. But the last 2 years, we decided, well, let's try to give back to Clayton. Let's do something for the people that are in our community. So we decided that part of the money that we raised through the concert series was going to go to an organization that was brought to us by a member, a volunteer, or somebody actually in the community. Last year, for many of you know, it was the Johnson County Relay for Life, and they were our first organization that we were able to donate some money to from our proceeds. This year, a little different, but it's still in home, and it's a little closer to home even. Thanks to, again, some of the folks from the Women's Club, so we'll get them to come up in a little bit. They kind of got us put together with Marie Monsies with the Backpack Buddies. Raise your hand if you know what Backpack Buddies is. This is a good thing. A lot of people in here know, so when Marie gets up here, don't feel shy about helping some of these students out. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to provide an award, a donation award from what we raised. And this year we raised a little over $500 that we're going to donate to Backpack Buddies. So I'd like to invite Marie Monsies up to briefly describe the program, and then we'll give the award and have some of the Women's Club members come up and take a picture with us, and also the DDA members. So Marie, come on up. Let me get this down for you. There you go.
Just a little taller here. I want to thank you very much for this donation for the Backpack Buddies, and assure you that it will be used to a great advantage. The Backpack Buddies program started here around 7 years ago. The Women's Club has been involved with it, and I have been involved with it for the last 6 years. It has worked really well for us because the department that I've been in is community, and this has just been such a rewarding thing. The food that goes into the backpacks, I should back up just a little and say that the children that get these backpacks are the children that get free or reduced price lunches at the schools. And so on the weekends, they do not have extra food to eat. And so these backpacks provide that. And this is just for the first grade right now. So it would be great if it could be expanded to the other children, older children, but right now it's just first grade. There are several things that are in this backpack. that gives them some nourishment through soups and breakfast items and meats and milk and juice. It's just a wonderful thing. It costs about $7 per backpack per child. And right now we are assisting 57 children. 47 of those are at Cooper Elementary, and we work through the First Baptist Church to pack these. And the other 10 are at the Holy Cross Lutheran Church. And those children are at East Clayton. Cooper seems to be the school that is the most needy. And so that's where our big effort goes. But this is a wonderful thing. We are so thankful for that, for your contribution, and you can be assured that it's going for good use. Thank you.
And I'm gonna ask Marie one question before she leaves. About how much does it cost to feed one child there at Cooper for Backpack Buddies?
It's $7 a week.
$7 a week to feed.
No. Yes, that's right. About
$7 a week. Okay, so if you don't know or are interested in this, please let Marie know, because $7 can go a long way in helping some of these kids be ready to learn, be ready to continue to develop. So again, this is something small, but we can do something bigger as a community. So thank you. Let's have the CDDA members and the Women's Club members come on up real quick. We couldn't get a bigger size check.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful.
In the back, you can't see because we didn't get a big check. We just got a little one. It costs too much to get a big check. Can we see it?
No.
How are we doing? Can you get us?
Yeah.
In the back, can you be seen?
Sure. I got my tongue out.
All right. There you go. Thank you all. What did I say? Woman? Women's. Now before we eat, we're going to have a very special guest come up and speak to us. You really can't talk about downtown development without having somebody like our next speaker come up. When you talk about history of downtown, this person knows a lot of what has happened in downtown and kind of a lot of why it has happened in downtown. So there's very few people, I guess, that are in this room today. There's a few, but that could talk about how it started and how it continues to happen now. And also as a business owner, as a property owner, as somebody that's been around, this person is a great person to kind of kick us off tonight and really talk a little bit about, Oh, sorry. I get messages from people there. So this person is going to tell us a little bit and kind of really talk to what's going to happen. This is somebody special to me. She helped me out when I first got here to the Downtown Development Association and kind of, I don't know, gave me a hard time maybe. I don't know, they call it mentoring, but I think maybe it's more like give you a hard time. But this person is Lynn Austin, and many of you probably know her at some point or another. She's been involved in many different things. The Clayton Center continues to be involved in that. She's is a local and state leader in the community college system. Her and Jesse are property owners, and we're, again, Mr. and Mrs. Christmas, so they're famous. So without further ado, I'm going to have her come on up and tell us a little bit about kind of the downtown changes that she's seen maybe over the last few years. All right, let's give a warm welcome to Lynn Austin.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is thank the Downtown Development Association for honoring Jesse and I for being Mr. and Miss Christmas last year. It was very touching. We had such a good time in the right in the carriage during the Christmas tree lighting and in the parade. So that was fabulous. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Now, I've lived in Clayton 33 years, so you can imagine I've got some stories to tell. Sadly, they're not for mixed company. I'll have to do it like one-on-one. There have been a lot of changes in Clayton since I have been here. But the one thing that hasn't changed is the spirit and the essence of what Clayton is. And it's a hard thing to define. As long as I've been in Clayton, we've been trying to define it, and it is not definable. When I moved to Clayton, I think there were more characters per square foot than any place I had ever lived or I'd ever heard of. I don't think that's changed a lot either. Interestingly, I was sitting here thinking, we do have some natives of Clayton who are in this room. So if you're a native of Clayton, will you stand up? I remember when I married Jesse and I moved here 33 years ago. I was home, my home is in the mountains of North Carolina, and one of my family members said, well, is Clayton a good place to live? And before I could answer, my granddaddy said, listen, any place is a good place to live if you make it so. The one thing that I think is lucky about Clayton or fortunate about Clayton is we seem to attract people who are willing to make it so. Look at this room full of people. All of you are here because you are willing to make Clayton a great place to be and a great place to live. Now, when I arrived in Clayton 33 years ago, there were not many people here. There were no restaurants. There was not a chain grocery store. And so the first town council meeting I went to, I remember there was a man who lived on 2nd Street. I swear I can't remember his name, it doesn't matter. But he had come to lodge a complaint. His complaint was we had a real traffic problem in Clayton. For 2 mornings that week, he had to wait for 2 cars to pass by before he could get out of his driveway. So we had a real growth problem in Clayton. But back then, even back then, I'll have to say, the downtown area was vibrant, and it was alive, and it was bustling. And actually, there was a lot of retail in downtown Clayton. The post office was here, and the government services were here, but we had a men's store, a ladies' store, children's shop, the drugstore, 2 hardware stores, lawyers, the jewelry store, Elmo's Furniture, and there was Jake's Flower Shop. Now at Jake's Flower Shop, he had like you walked into the store and there was like his display area, and then behind that was his work area, and there was sort of a potbelly stove back there and a broken down sofa and a broken down chair. And so all of the merchants on the street and customers and friends would come by in the morning and throughout the day to have a cup of coffee and to share the gossip. And Jody, our mayor, always said when he graduated from college, he was going to write a play that was set in a flower shop. And I was going to be Mrs. Higginbottom III. So back then, we had retail. We had the government services. We had other service facilities that were downtown. Today, Clayton is still vibrant and alive. It bustles every single day. The buildings that you now know as the Clayton Center was the old school campus. There was an elementary school there. And all of a sudden, the real growth began. And there were people and there were more people. And the subdivisions seemed to pop up overnight. And with these people came a lot of children. And those children required schools, and so most of the schools were built outside town. So our schools in downtown Clayton closed. It was first, I remember when we moved here, it was 1 through 5, and then it got to be 1 through 3, and then it got to be 4 and 5, and then it got to be 5. And so it eventually closed. But on the steps of the auditorium of the elementary school is where people met each other, and they talked. As you know, there's not much of a lobby there at the auditorium, and so before and after and during all the community activities that happened there, you expanded your circle of friends, and you met people. And it was on the steps of this building that one of the local gentlemen, Herman Vincent, introduced me for at least 10 years as Jesse Jr.'s new wife. But during these expansion years, we began to lose the retail downtown. And most of the development was on the 70 corridor. So, however, quickly, the spaces that the retail abandoned were occupied by business service-oriented facilities. And so downtown remained alive, it remained vibrant, and there were people downtown pretty much all the time. The activity remained, I would say, vibrant. Now, our Chamber of Commerce in those days was a volunteer organization. Those of us in the community, Joyce, you'll remember this, you volunteered 2 or 3 hours a day and you'd go up and answer the telephone for the Chamber of Commerce. So when the Chamber of Commerce finally got big enough and we had enough members, we could afford to hire a full-time person. That was great. And at that time, as I said, most of the expansion was along the 70 corridor. So the merchants downtown said to themselves, you know what? We probably need to form another organization that really looks after the downtown business district. So that organization came to be, and it was the seeds of what is now the Downtown Development Association. One thing that I learned when I was involved in getting the Clayton Center developed, I went to all of the 3 big industries in town, and that was Bayer, Caterpillar, Novo. Put the plans for the Clayton Center down and said, look, we have this idea, but if we do it, will you support it? And will you give us some money toward this project? They were very excited about it, but the first question out of their mouth was, yes, but tell us what else is happening downtown. Well, a light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, you know what? Never would I have imagined the executives of these corporations would be interested in the least in downtown Clayton. I didn't even think they'd ever been to downtown Clayton. But I knew from that moment forward that for the Clayton area to succeed, the downtown area has to be a success. It is vitally important when you're trying to attract industry that you have a vital downtown area. Fortunately for us, we have a town council and a town manager who understand this. There was a program for the state that was developed, the Main Street organization, which Rich talked to you about. And one of the first requirements to be involved in the Main Street organization with the state was that you have a full-time downtown development director. Our people were wise enough to realize we needed to belong to that. We needed our downtown to remain vibrant, so along comes Bruce Naglin. And when Bruce arrived as our full-time downtown development director, everything that was happening downtown was elevated to a new level. When I came in tonight and I saw so many people here that I had never seen before, hello, I was excited. I'm always excited when I see that there are new people here, and thank God, young people here who are interested in Clayton, who want to make Clayton the best place to live. So we have the Downtown Development Director. We have all these wonderful new people that I'm meeting for the first time tonight who are interested in Clayton. So how can we not believe that Clayton will continue to succeed? We have absolutely everything in this room that we need to succeed. We're filled with young people, we're filled with exciting people, we're filled with those old people who know exactly what has happened and what might happen in the future. So I think that we are fortunate in Clayton that whatever this essence is, that is the spirit and the feeling of Clayton, exist. And you know what? You can't define it, but I say embrace it and go forward. If you have been here any length of time, the one thing you know is Clayton never looks back. We always look forward, and in doing so, we will always be on the cutting edge. Okay, I gotta tell this one last little story. I don't know what it is about me and alcohol. When we were doing the Clayton Center, well, I'll have to say this, Rich. The concert series started out initially as just an idea, and then Bruce came and we realized we could expand it. But there was no alcohol involved in the first concerts. Well, years before that, whenever I was doing the Clayton Center, the mayor then, Doug McCormick, who for all of you who are new don't know, but he was an elderly gentleman and very soft-spoken. And he called me up one day and he said, Lynn, are you coming to the council meeting tonight? And I said, well, no, Doug, I hadn't planned to. Do you need me? He said, well, yeah, probably. I think we're going to take up the issue of being able to serve alcohol at the Clayton Center. And I said, well, sure. You know, I mean, we've all talked about it. If you're going to rent the place, if you're going to use the place, you've got to be able to serve alcohol. And so I was getting ready to go out of town the next day, and I had on my little sundress, my little pocketbook. And I walk into the town hall, which was a building many of you new people don't even realize probably exists, a little brick building. And there was like 500 people in the room. And they were all there against alcohol. So I'm standing there in my little frou-frou shoes, my little pocketbook. And this guy got up and he started ranting and raving about the demon alcohol. So I mean, what the heck am I gonna say? You know, I just got up there and made my argument, and I could not even look at any of the council members at this time. I'm thinking, holy crap, if some woman's granddaddy had died in a ditch drunk, well, what could I say to that? Anyway, it passed that night, and I breathed a sigh of relief, and I thought that was over with. But then when I became promotion chair for the downtown development, one of the town council people at the time, Alex Atkinson, called me up and he said, I have something to talk to you about. And I said, yes. And he said, well, I hope we can expand the concert series, but I think we need to be able to sell beer. And I said, oh my God, the demon alcohol again. Well, we managed that, and Bruce would go and buy like cases of beer, and we would store them in Beth Williams' flower shop, flower cooler during the day. So I gotta say, we have come a long, long way, Bruce, and I am through with the demon alcohol. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for your interest and your love of Clayton, and we have no place to go but onward and upward.
All right, thank you, Lynn. With that, let's drink some of that demon alcohol and eat some dinner. And we'll get back up here in a little bit and do some awards, because that's why we're here tonight, is to thank everybody. So enjoy your dinner. We'll be back up here in a few minutes. Thanks. Who better to announce the awards is Bruce Naglin. So he's going to announce our awards tonight for those people in several different categories. So I'll leave it to him.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And without further going on, this is the fifth year that we've presented an awards program recognizing businesses and individuals who are helping turn downtown into a reality. All the nominees that we have throughout this program are listed in alphabetical order, just so that you know that, no preference on anything. Our first one is a relatively new award. I think we did it last year for the first time. It's called the Thank You Award. And it's presented to an individual, a business leader, community leader, merchant, resident, whoever, whose efforts contribute to the programs of CDDA Inc. and or the Downtown District. And we really only had one nominee this year. And so serving on numerous, I'm going to kind of tease it a little bit here, but serving on numerous boards and advisory groups, all the way to providing fundraising dinners. He also provides sound business advice to new entrepreneurs. He serves, this is going to give it away, he serves as the council liaison to the Clayton Downtown Development Association Board and is active in many, if not all, CDDA events and activities, including tonight's event. The Clayton DDA Board is excited to present Michael Granis with the 2013 Thank You Award. Look over that way. Don't go anywhere, Richard. No, you can't even get a part of your drink. You can't even do that. Our next award is Volunteer of the Year. This award is presented to an individual or group who goes the extra steps in volunteering their time during Downtown Development Association events, activities, and programs. And it's really difficult to kind of choose one volunteer over another because we value all of our volunteers. But some seem to stand out and make a little extra effort, as all of our nominees have done this year. The nominees are Marty Bizzle, Cheryl Champion, and John Long. Our 2013 Volunteer of the Year is one of those quietly effective individuals. Shows up, gets the people needed to get the job done, and just gets the job done. Our Volunteer of the Year has been involved in a number of CDDA events, but has been instrumental in keeping the CDDA merchandise tent at the concert series set up and operating and taken down for the past several years. And our 2013 Volunteer of the Year is Cheryl Champion, who is in the cheapest of the cheap seats, sitting back over here.
I just have one thing to say.
You do?
Do we have any vets here tonight?
That's a great thing. Cheryl just asked, do we have any veterans here tonight? No? Well, raise your hand, I guess is what I should say. Raise your hand or stand up. Everybody give them a round of applause. Thank you, Cheryl, who's a veteran as well. Our bad for not doing that on our own. That's why she's Volunteer of the Year. You know. She's got it right, that's right. This next one is interesting. This is our Board Member of the Year, CDDA Board Member of the Year Award. Again, we started doing this a couple years ago, and this award recognizes the CDDA board member whose actions most embody the principles of Main Street and has a positive influence with the other board members and the community. What I'd like to do is have all of our board members come up here for a second to have a photograph taken as this is being presented to one of their own, from their own. Oh, did you see it?
Yeah.
The nominees for this award this year were Margaret Lee and Richard Rary. A board member of any nonprofit group has a lot of responsibilities, and the CDDA board member is a hard worker because it's a working board. Although advisory to the town council, the nonprofit members also help create, develop, and implement meetings, events, activities, and speaks, just a lot of stuff, all geared toward improving downtown Clayton. Our board member of the year has come up through the ranks, serving on a committee and then onto the board for the past several years. This member attends many meetings, activities, and plans meetings and speaks for the board when necessary. Our board member of the year has been chair of the CDDA for the past 3 years, has earned the respect of the board, town administration, and many in the community. It was with heartfelt gratitude that the board honors Richard Rary as 2013 board member of the year.
I saw it.
He actually cheated and opened the box. I forgot to keep the box closed.
Here you go, Rich. Ladies?
That's right, we do. Thank you very much for that. Okay, everybody go back and sit down and drink more. Okay. Our next one is sort of announcing our 2013 Clayton Main Street Champion of the Year, or of 2013. As you know, Clayton is a North Carolina Main Street community. It's a competitive program, and we were fortunate enough to be selected back in 2006, and we started in 2007. Each year, the Main Street program honors local people who've made extraordinary contributions to their downtowns. The designation of Clayton's Main Street Champion was determined this past summer by the CDDA board, and a certificate commemorating this special honor will be presented at the North Carolina Main Street Awards Dinner in New Bern the last week in January. Our champion this year is a downtown property owner. Led a group that conceived and helped implement the transformation of the elementary and high school buildings into the Clayton Center, Performing Arts Center and Town Hall, which has helped jumpstart the revitalization of downtown Clayton. As chair of the Clayton Downtown Development Association's promotion committee for several years, this person instilled the core philosophy that events should have a specific purpose, the town, and also excellent quality as well. The Town Square Concert Series and the Christmas Village and Tree Lighting Ceremony each became signature events during this person's tenure. They were involved in the development of the downtown vision, the design of a public lot that became the award-winning Horn Square, and is sought after as a behind-the-scenes advisor by the CDDA and others. This is going to give it away, too, if it already hadn't. But with the busy schedule as chair of the Johnston County Community College Trustees and vice chair of the State Association, Lynn Austin is very supportive of downtown businesses and still finds the time to visit most new businesses to welcome them. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the Clayton Downtown Development Association, Lynn Austin, their downtown champion for 2013. Oh, and here is the official letter from the Commerce Department of Main Street folks.
Oh, wow.
Dear Ms. Austin, I'm pleased to inform you that Clayton Downtown Development Association has designated you as a 2013 North Carolina Main Street champion. And we don't know pretty much all the rest, but that's yours.
You're a rascal. Oh, man, I don't deserve this.
Yeah, you do. And we get to hang out in New Bern this year, too.
The best thing is you get to go to the Main Street Convention, right?
That's right.
The demon alcohol.
That's right. That's sort of a sidebar, but pun intended. Okay, now for some of the things that some of the other folks have been waiting for, and that's our business awards. We're going to start with the Best Curb Appeal, and this award is presented to a business or property owner within Clayton's downtown that has made improvements to his or her property, or who has otherwise contributed to the beautification of Clayton's downtown commercial district in general. The nominees for Best Curb Appeal are Circa Furniture, whose owner is Brian Shirley, Historic Wagner House, owners Kelly and Pete Norman, and Right Angles Custom Framing, and owner Janet Lowry. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't announced it yet, but she's back there, I know. The 2013 winner is Circa Furniture at 427 East Main Street. Brian Shirley has operated Circa Furniture since 2011. It has a very nice appearance with a wooden easel sign and often decorates the front of the shop seasonally. The building facade was a facade grant recipient several years ago, and Brian and the property owners have continued to maintain its appearance. So our 2013 Best Curb Appeal winner, Circa Furniture, and Brian Shirley. Outstanding new downtown business. And this is exciting because each year we get a number of new businesses, and this year's no exception. We've had, actually, I think it was five new businesses in downtown Clayton this year. And a number of them, Lynn was talking earlier about, this was the center for retail many years ago because there wasn't anywhere else to go in Clayton except the downtown area. And that had shifted to about a 60-40 kind of a switch, 70-30, 60-40 switch, service businesses versus retail. And that's starting to switch back again. And most of our businesses, our new businesses this past year, are retail-oriented businesses, I'm glad to say. And a lot of them are very interesting businesses. And the nominees are all very interesting businesses. So this is great. We had three nominees this year. The nominees are for Outstanding New Downtown Business, Classy Stitches Embroidery, owners Holly and Doug Long. Deep River Brewing Company, owners Paul and Lynn Auclair. And Patty Cake Bakery owner Dee Jackson. The 2013 winner is Deep River Brewing Company at 700 West Main Street. Owners Paul and Lynn Auclair are providing a fun and unique business for downtown and all of Clayton. Aside from being Johnston County's first legal brewery, they are fast becoming an anchor to the west end of downtown as well. Deep River Brewing is also being recognized nationally as an up-and-coming brewery, and they've been in business less than a year. It's also a stop for hikers and bikers along the mountains to Sea Trail and brings people from throughout the Triangle to downtown Clayton on a weekly basis. And although Deep River gets the award this year, all of our nominees are worthy. So let's have a big round of applause for all of them. Our Outstanding Downtown Business for 2013. This award is presented to a business located within the downtown district that enhances the downtown experience. Our nominees are Deep River Brewing Company, owners Paul and Linda Clare, Historic Wagner House, owners Kelly and Pete Norman, and Main Street Jewelers, owners Deborah and Ed Ostermule. The 2013 winner of the Outstanding Downtown Business Award is Historic Wagner House at 121 East Main Street. Kelly's not here tonight, so she sent her husband, Pete, to pick it up. But Kelly and Pete Norman bought the business in January of this year and transformed a beautiful, yet somewhat reclusive business into a community gem. Kelly, who, as I said, is in New York tonight on business, had never really been in the wedding reception meeting business before. And indeed, her background was technology. You've heard of the Geek Squad? Yes, we have. She was one of the originals. Literally, but she knows how to promote a business, and she knows that being involved in the community is the best way to do that. She is involved with the DDA and the Chamber of Commerce, and she and Pete have opened the Historic Wagner House really into a business that not only embraces the community, but has added a Sunday brunch that brings the public into the building every year. It was also open for children's activities during the Harvest Festival, and more local meetings and luncheons are being held there, and they are just a great couple to have in our community, and we welcome them and congratulate them again on being our outstanding downtown business of the year. Okay, so we did the pictures with that, right? Okay. Do we want to continue? Is dessert been served yet? Has everybody had dessert? Is it being dessert? Not yet? Huh? Coming soon to a near, okay. Just checking, because it says here dessert, and so I'm just, okay, well, that's good. No, I'm just saying, I might be early. I might be early on this one. Should we take a break or continue on? Continue on? Okay. This is the part I have to ad lib, I forgot. I was writing this stuff up this afternoon, and I didn't get to this far, so I just realized, so, anyway. At this point, we're going to recognize our outgoing board members. And as I said, the Downtown Development, or as Rich mentioned earlier tonight, the Downtown Development Association is a town-appointed advisory committee. Members also serve on the board of the Clayton Downtown Development Association, Incorporated, which is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. Although advisory by appointment, the DDA is a working board, as we've already mentioned. And they work through the 4 standing committees: design, economic restructuring, organization, and promotion, as well as many subgroups throughout each of those committees. At the end of next month, the terms of several members will expire, and we would like to welcome or to recognize them now. And Richard, these are... Don't break them. I'm not going to break them. I won't break them. But if I did break them, Rob is here. He can fix them. So our first is Debbie Romano, who has been on the board since about 2010. Is that right? Where's Debbie? Where is Debbie? Oh, there you are. Okay. Oh, they're sitting next to each other. How cute and convenient. There will be a show and song and dance competition a little bit later on. But Debbie is, amongst her other talents, she has been the secretary to the board for several years. She has also been, even before she came on the board, the chairman of the Town Square Concert Series and committee, and has done an outstanding job with that over these years. And she has informed me that although she's coming off the board, she is not giving that up. So she is going to stay with us for the concert series, and we're real glad of that. So we would like to ask Debbie to come up here and get her picture taken with Richard. And we have a little recognition for that. Our next outgoing board member is Betsy Granis, who has been with us on the board since shortly after I got here. So, but she's been on there for about, I guess, 7 years. She filled a vacancy for this current term, and so we were able to hold on to her for a little bit longer. But Betsy, as many of you know, is very talented. She's been very helpful with a lot of things. She has been, amongst other things, the chair of the organization committee, and has held that every month for the past several numbers of years, however long you've been doing that, and forever. And of course is able to do just all sorts of things, and helps that she knows just about everybody around. And so she will be missed on the board, but we know where she lives, and we know where she works, and we have her phone numbers, and so we can contact her whenever we need to. But Betsy Granis is coming off of our board at the end of next month, and so let's have a big round of applause for Betsy. Sweet. Okay. At this point, I'd like to welcome our new DDA board members. However, I can't. Not yet, not officially. But I can tell you who our prospective and more than likely board members are going to be. The town council appoints our board, and, well, they just haven't gotten to it yet. So for whatever reason, I think just a bunch of scheduling stuff. But usually they're already appointed at this point. But our new prospective board members are, and I'd like to have them come up, as I call their name, James Lipscomb. I know you're back there. Jessica Lloyd. Paul Black. Brain is not functioning. I think that's all we have coming on new. Oh, and Donna Steele is actually being appointed to a second term. So Donna, come on up here. You'll have to wait to eat your pie. So these are our prospective new board members for 2014, the new ones. And then what I'd like to do is have all the other current board members come on up here as well. I'd like to get a new picture of a picture of the current board and then of the new board as well. So that would be Margaret, and you guys come on up. And who else? Lori's back there. Who else is back there? Debbie Astermule. Anybody else who's currently on the board? Jan, there she is. Okay. Okay. So let's get the newbies over here for a second.
Perspective group.
The perspective group over this way. Let's get a picture of these guys here real quick, because I don't have a full picture of them, and I need one. Look at Stephanie and Amanda. Okay. Okay, then let's get rid of the short timers. They get you guys in there now too. Come on. Oh, maybe I'll go on the other side. There you go. Okay. And this is our prospective new board for 2014.
Margaret, lean towards Robert. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
We're done?
That's it. Okay. Well, that's pretty much all we have on the program for right now, unless Richard wanted to come up and say other things.
Sure.
Because we have nothing else other than that. Thank you very much.
Again, the really last thing I want to say is thanks to everybody in here. This is a great turnout. We probably have over almost 60 people here tonight. So that's a lot of you that are interested in what's going on downtown. And that's what we need. A lot of what Lynn talked about, a lot of what Bruce talked about is about passion. It's about commitment to where you live. And I think those of you in this room and many others that couldn't be here tonight, that's what they're about. They're about making Clayton the best place that it can be. So thanks to all of you. Special thanks to Rob, I saw in the back, Rob Baker, Awards and Engravables, for doing the awards. Thanks to Michael and Betsy for this lovely dinner that you all prepared, and all the staff that came in on their day off to work. So thanks to everybody, and enjoy dessert. Thanks.
While you're all here, I am going to make one plug. One of the things that we are starting, and of course we didn't bring any forms with us tonight, but we know where you are. We can send them to you. Is the Downtown Partners Program, and it's just a little way. It's not. We're not a membership organization, but it's we're always looking for different ways to get people involved and just supporting us and the things that we do downtown. And so if you would like some information about becoming a downtown partner, We have different categories, which also means different size contributions on an annual basis. But you get one of these lovely little stickers for your door or for your car every year. It says 2013, 2014 partner and Clayton Downtown Development Association. And you get one of these nifty mugs that for some reason doesn't have the logo on it. I picked the wrong one out. So I picked up the sample, not the one with the logo on it. But it has the logo on it, and it's just one of those travel mug things, and it's really cool, actually. And also, if you go high enough, you actually get your name on a bunch of stuff. So like sponsorship things and that sort of stuff. So if you would like to learn more about that, if you would like to become a partner, talk to me, Richard, one of the other board members, and we'll come bring you some stuff and get your check is what we'll do. So thank you.